Hi guys, what's up? Welcome back. Thanks for joining again to another installment of the weekly training update. These have been really fun and I'm excited for all of you guys that are following along, and I hope that in the long run it's going to help out a lot of you who are trying to plan a training season. Now the race that I'm training for, the Cruel Jewel 100, is very specifically a mountain race, and so I'm putting in a lot of extra climbing. In fact, probably way more than most people would in even a regular 100-mile training plan, because this one has 33,000 feet of gain, and so it's an average of 330 feet per mile. It's ridiculous. It's going to be crazy. I've never trained with this amount of vertical in my training plan, and it's kind of taken my body a couple weeks to kind of get used to it, but I feel like this week was a big turning point. I know last week, the episode where I talked about kind of like missing my goals and hoping to bounce back stronger, well, I absolutely did this week and just had a really awesome comeback week. I don't want to call it a comeback week. It was more of just okay, we're going to accept that down week as a little bit of a rest week, and we're going to bounce back and we're going to make sure that we hit our goals. We're going to try and stay healthy the whole week. So I am happy to report that I did hit both of my goals. My mileage goal is 55 miles a week. Now that's just, I'm trying to hit an average of 55 miles a week over the next couple months until May 14th when I run the Cruel Jewel. But I got 56.5 miles this week. And then I'm also aiming to hit 17,000 feet of gain per week on average. There's going to be some weeks that are lower, some weeks that are higher. But this week I did cross that again, and I got 17,182 feet. So over the last 4 weeks or so, I've been really close in the mileage goal most of the weeks, and then finally hit it this week, and I've got the vertical gain goal most of the weeks as well, except for last week I kind of fell short, but I got it this week. And so I want to show you guys my dashboard here. This is the last 365 days. The blue line with the shade underneath is basically a representation of my fitness, and we can see that last year around this time my fitness CTL, chronic training load, was 62, and right now it's 67. So on paper, I kind of look like I'm in a little bit better shape according to a lot of the numbers that I've been putting up, which is really good to see. So now let's take a look at this calendar right here, and I'm going to try and put it up on the screen and talk to you guys at the same time. But you see these TSS, these are training stress scores for each of my runs. And since I'm using my stride pod for almost every single run, it's taking the amount of power I'm putting out and it's converting it into a stress score. So I'm getting a really accurate point scale system sort of thing about how hard I'm actually working. A lot of these runs take a long time, but I don't get a super high stress score because a lot of what I'm doing is hiking on a treadmill or hiking outside, because I'm trying to make sure that most of my runs have at least 2,000 or 3,000 feet of gain, and then on the weekends even more. So this is kind of hard for me to watch happen because the amount of training that I'm doing, I feel like I should be building my fitness on this screen much faster than I actually am. But with all that said, I know I am training right for my race because my race is going to have a whole lot of hiking, and there's gonna be a lot of running, but it's gonna be a whole lot of hiking. So I need to be doing a lot of training specific to the race, and we've kind of talked about that on a lot of the live streams. But we're just gonna go through here real quick. Last Monday I did actually 2 workouts. So I started off the day with a 7-mile run outside, about 53 minutes, and that was a really awesome run. It was 25 degrees, but it was kind of sunny, and so it was just kind of nice to be outside even though it was freezing cold. But then I came back, got a little bit of work done, and then got on the treadmill and was on the treadmill for 50 minutes. Did 3 miles but got 2,000 feet of gain, so that was really awesome. I got 10 miles in on Monday, which was a good head start for the whole week, and I also got enough vertical gain to kind of have a successful day. Tuesday just did a quick treadmill workout where I kind of sped up just a little bit over the first mile or two, and then I ran a mile at 8.5 minutes per mile, hiked for about 2 miles or so, and then another mile run, mile hike. So this has kind of been my go-to workout because it kind of hits a lot of different areas of my training. It's a lot of hiking, but then I'm also running at a pretty decent pace for a mile, just intervals back and forth. Wednesday was another run outside. It was freezing cold again, but I really wanted to run outside in the Saucony Triumph 18. And by the way, did anybody notice this extra like stuff I've got over here now? Like, I'm really, really excited about this. I've been looking for something to put over here in this area of the frame for months, and I just haven't been able to find the right thing, but I was able to find a shoe rack, which is like perfect, and then a frame that I liked enough to put a print of the John Muir Trail map. My brother gave this to me for my birthday like a long time ago, and I've been continually looking for a frame for it too. But yeah, and then this light you've seen in other shots, but I'm putting it in the frame now. So hopefully you guys like this new look. I feel like it kind of just like sits a little bit better. It's like kind of more even on both sides. Moving on to Thursday, this was a 5-mile hike, and I just did straight 15% the whole way because I knew the day before I had missed out on a whole lot of vertical gain by running outside because I live in Indiana. So I got 3,600 feet of gain on this hike. Thursday, another treadmill run. I was doing mile intervals, as you can see here, by like 8:30 pace, dropping down to the 16-minute pace for hiking, back and forth. Then we get into Saturday, and this one was supposed to be a little bit longer. Like, I was shooting for 20 miles and somewhere in between 5,000 to 7,000 feet of vertical gain. And unfortunately, like, I had like really good success this whole week, like dealing with those headaches I was talking about before. Really hadn't got anything serious. And then Saturday, like right before my run, one started coming on, and I just knew that like I was trying to get as much done as I could before it really got bad. But unfortunately, it got to the end where hiking uphill, I had to start pausing halfway up some of these hills just because my head was just hurting so bad. But I still got 15 miles and 3,000 feet of gain, so it wasn't all a loss. It was actually really good training. And I was also sad because a snowstorm blew in at like 4 o'clock that day, and I pretty much wrapped up my run at like 3:30 or something. And this snowstorm, we got like 10 inches of snow, and it's just like, we just got like dropped on Saturday night. So I was sad because I really wanted to like run trails in the snow, and yeah, missed out on that. Sunday, I bounced back really well. I got a 10-mile treadmill run in, just doing mile repeats. Again, some of these were a little bit quicker, 14.5 minutes. I was just going a little bit quicker on the hiking sections, and then 8 minutes and 30 seconds per mile on the runs as well. So 10 miles, some of you guys saw my Strava post where I posted 10 miles running with Nicolas Cage. I was watching a movie on my iPad, and it was awesome. That wraps up the week of training and also this video. So thank you guys so much for following along. I was just really excited to finally have what I felt like a good week of training, and I've kind of been building up to it, and finally everything just worked out right. Even though my run on Saturday was not exactly what I wanted, I was able to bounce back on Sunday and do some really good work. So that's it. We got 15 weeks until the Cruel Jewel 100. And like, that kind of sounds like a long time, but it's really not when you're training for a big race. You have like, everything's planned out and everything is periodized, and this next week is going to be very similar to this past week. I'm going to try and get outside because I like doing more of my speed work outside where I'm doing like higher intensity running. So get outside once or twice this week and get some run on the road. I don't know actually, because this snow is not going to melt for a long time. So I don't know, we'll see. And next week might be pretty sketchy on the trails too. So who knows what's going to happen, but that's all. I'm just thankful that you guys all stopped by to spend some time with me today. If you haven't noticed, in the description down below, a few things have changed recently. I'm not putting as many product links in there because I just felt like it got super cluttered and it was just like so much information. But I am putting my Amazon store link down in there, which you can go to, and if you shop anything there, Amazon just throws a few pennies my way. Those lists are going to be everything that I'm using, everything that I've tested out or reviewed. I'm going to try and keep those as up to date as possible. So also down below, there's a link to join the channel as a member if you're interested. It's probably the best way to support what I do here. If you like the reviews I'm doing, if you like the information I'm giving out, and you are interested in giving back, that is probably the best way to do it. But I don't have a Patreon or anything like that. I've been using the channel memberships instead of that. It's kind of just easier for both of us. It's all in the same place. But thank you to everyone that is a member. It really means a lot to me. So that's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for joining, and I will see you again soon. Bye.